When did you guys learn that Vice President Harris wants to distance herself from Bidenomics?
Why do you think that?
Axios is now reporting that she is hoping to distance herself from President Biden's unpopularity on the economy. Can you blame her?
Do you know this is the Biden-Harris administration? Are you aware that this is the Biden-Harris administration? And she is indeed the vice president.
But if the president's policies on the economy were working, or if they were popular, wouldn't he still be the candidate?
You literally just had the chair of the CEA here who laid out a pretty robust point by point about the economy and what has happened under the Biden-Harris administration. And I thought it was pretty convincing. Look, as far as anything that the vice president wants to do, or as she's talking about her policy that's campaign related, you would have to speak to her. One thing that I know for sure is that this president, this vice president are fighting very hard to make sure that the middle class is stronger. They wanted to make sure that we're working to cut taxes for the middle class, for working people, slashing cost. The contrast could not be more stark between, if anything, the contrast is between what Republicans want to do. Maganomics, you're talking about Bidenomics. Maganomics supercharge inflation. That's what they want to do. Raise taxes on the middle class by thousands of dollars. Send tax cuts through the roof. Protect corporate price gouging. Cut Social Security. Cost millions their health care. And heap tax giveaways on billionaires and big corporations. That's the division there. That's where there's really night and day.
But would you admit, at least, that if Bidenomics was more popular, President Biden would still be the candidate?
I'm not going to get into polling. What I will tell you is Bidenomics has been something that both the president and the vice president has worked on. You guys have called it Bidenomics. We talk about how the president is trying to put forward an economic policy, building the economy from the bottom up, middle out, that does not leave behind the middle class and make sure it has equity at the center of it.
Something that we've noticed over the last few days.
Now you're noticing a lot over the last few days.
The vice president's team is not holding any press briefings. You are left to answer everything for her, even though you are not the vice president's press secretary.
I don't think
Is that
so.
getting old?
No. Let me tell you something. I'm the White House press secretary, as you all know, obviously, for the president, for this administration, for the Biden-Harris administration. It is an honor and a privilege. You hear me say this all the time. Honor and privilege to stand before you to be able to do that job. And I will do it as long as I can, right to the end of this term. And as it relates to the vice president, she certainly has been on the road. She has taken questions from some of you in doing her gaggles. You have seen her. That is something, as anything specific about interview, you certainly would have to reach out to her campaign. But I am proud to be standing here at this podium behind this lectern on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration.